Hi everyone, this is Mr. Driscoll, and today we'll be discussing the power of persuasive writing. Okay, I developed this presentation because the past few years when we've taught persuasive writing, a lot of the students had difficulty understanding, or answering the question, who cares? Okay, they didn't understand the reason why we do this and why it's so important. Okay, and the value that can come of being a good persuasive writer or being good at persuading someone towards your arguments in general. Okay, it's a life skill that we need to develop, so that's what we'll be working on the next few weeks. If you're wondering why it sounds like I'm recording this in somebody's garage, well, it's because I am. It's what happens when you have an 18-month-old that's taking a nap. You get sent to the garage to record. Okay, that being said, first of all, what is persuasion? Okay, what does it mean? Well, the dictionary says it's to induce to believe by appealing to reason or understanding, to convince someone. Okay, so again, persuasive writing, you are essentially trying to convince someone of something. Okay, persuasion, got it. Who cares? Well, have you ever had to convince someone of anything? Let's take this picture for an example. This is my son Blake earlier this fall, and as you can see, he is a very persuasive little guy. Not only did he get himself a popsicle, but he also managed to get himself an ice cream cone of some sort. So, as a great father, I caved very quickly and gave him 2 snacks. So, if you were ever a child, you persuaded someone to do something. So everyone has at least some experience doing this. Now try to convince a wrongfully accused defendant that persuasion is not important. They'd probably differ. If anyone's seen the great movie Shawshank Redemption, okay, I don't know how great of an example this is, but the whole idea of the power of persuasion. Okay? Now, to persuade, how do you do that? Well, you do that through communication. Okay, you communicate in some way through some medium to persuade others of believing your side or your position. Now, think of writing as a powerful mode of communication. Okay, some would say the most powerful mode. You may be a great public speaker or conversationalist, but that option may not always be available. You may not be able to engage in a conversation. You may have to write. A lot of students say, I'm just not a good writer. I communicate in other ways, like our friend here with the text messaging. Okay, that's okay. But, reality check. It's not always going to be available. There are going to be times in life where your ability to persuade through writing is going to be necessary. For instance, applying for a job. You'll need to write a resume, a cover letter. Sometimes writing samples are required when you apply for a job. Banking. Okay, everyone's going to have to engage in some form of banking. Okay, writing to representatives or other government officials. Okay, or if you do run yourself. Okay, a lot of times either a lot of forms you have to fill out, a lot of writing takes place there to campaign and so forth. Also, writing may just be part of your job. If you work for a newspaper, if you're a teacher, there are so many jobs out there that writing is an essential skill that you will need. And it will make you more marketable, it will help you get a job. And then there's also love letters, letters to Santa, love letters to Santa, anything you can imagine. So writing and persuasive writing is a valuable tool in life. Then what are you communicating? First of all, take a look at that dog. That dog looks smart. Looks like the dog's thinking. You have to think to communicate. You have to think clearly in order to write clearly. So again, the first step to great writing is great thinking. You must think clearly to write clearly. That's going to be a mantra for us. You must think clearly to write clearly. Okay, if all the ideas are half-baked in your mind, you're not going to come out with a clear or product that people can understand. It's just not going to. So again, get your thoughts in line first, and then your writing will take care of itself. And regardless of how well you write, you must have a clear position with reasoned support. So again, I'm not looking for flowery writing with a lot of adjectives and setting the scene, all this stuff. I want you to have a clear position. Which side are you on for whatever topic we choose? And then clearly support it with facts. Okay, reason, support, that's important. So again, position and support are the most essential parts of persuasive writing. Now think about it. If you don't have a point, or if your point has no justification, why should anyone believe you? Persuasive techniques also apply across mediums. What the heck does that mean? That just means that the skills you'll learn in your persuasive writing can apply to the other modes of communication that we mentioned earlier. So again, persuasive techniques can be used with many other forms of communication, such as face-to-face conversations, audio, video, online communication, which just about everybody engages in now, social media as an example, Twitter. You're limited to 140 characters. You have to be concise. Some people still find a way not to be concise on Twitter, but the whole point is that's this example of a communication where you may need to persuade people in a very short amount of time. It takes a lot of skill. Then telepathy. Who knows where we're going to go? So, how can becoming a persuasive writer help me in the future? That's probably what you're asking. How does this help me? Will you ever be in a position where you need to convince someone of your point of view? Think about it. The answer is yes, you will. Okay, for a variety of reasons. So keep this in mind as we develop our persuasive writing skills over the next few weeks. These skills will help you in the future. Okay, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. Take care.